Shavua Tov, everyone. So we had our Torah study this afternoon, and yeah, I went to sleep afterwards. I slept for a few hours. My sleeping time is getting a little bit less. Like I'm sleeping like less hours, but a little bit more frequently. So I'm staying awake a little bit longer and having shorter nap times, which I think is a good sign. I will get better. I'm determined in my head to get better. So the study that we did tonight was Devarim, and King was really right up there on that Hebrew. Um, Devarim, he said, was tellings, and I thought that really made a lot of sense, and um, it seemed pretty appropriate for, the parsha. We had it was great because we had three people reading, and all three of us read. Myself, King, and Jason read. Brenda was there as well, and also Alex came, and Alex's friend was there too, and a really nice woman by the name of her screen name was Daenerys Stormborn. Yes, I love that too. I have, you know what, Daenerys? I have every single show episode from that show. Oh, I just lost the name of it. It's just on the tip of my tongue. Um, oh, I'll remember it while I'm talking. But it's a very, very good HBO um, series based on a book by George R. Martin, and I've read all the books. Um, it's from a book series called A Song of Ice and Fire, and I'll remember the name of it in a minute. But anyway, so yeah, I put my glasses on as usual, not prepared for the video. Oh, I can see the Torah! Yay! So here we go. We started reading Devarim, which is also. Can you see that? Yes, Devarim, which is also the name of the book, too, Devarim. Tellings. So basically, what's happening here? Whoa, that's really orange. Is that Moshe is sitting with the people and going through everything that's happened to lead them to the point where they're about to enter Canaan and take their land that Hashem has appointed for them. And, it talks about the defeats that, people that were, some of the area tribes had to go through, like the Amorites, got in a fight with them, and etc. Now, the couple things that were pointed out in the study is, well, first of all, it's interesting because Moshe gets a little upset. And he actually says in chapter 1, verse 37, because of you, Hashem was incensed with me too, and he said, you shall not enter it either. So basically, I found it really odd that that Moshe was actually mad at the people for not being allowed to enter into Canaan, into the promised land, the land flowing with milk and honey. So Moshe is a little bit pissed off, and he's expressing his frustration. And I think it's justified, obviously, because Moshe's been there from the beginning, helping the people along and trying to get them to accept Hashem, to obey Hashem, to trust, mostly to trust in Hashem, that Hashem is their God and has chosen has chosen his people. And so it's kind of frustrating for him where, the Israelites are being very argumentative through the whole journey, and they're just causing so many problems. They're worshiping false idols. And Moshe has to be the go-between all the time between, the Israelites, who are causing so many problems on one hand, and Hashem, who, has to judge this and sort of be the arbiter of what's going to happen. And, poor Moshe's in the middle. And, that one thing that got him in trouble was, he got so angry with the people that he forgot what Hashem had commanded him to do. And he got so frustrated with the people that instead of speaking to the rock and trusting in Hashem, he struck the rock out of anger. And that's when, of course, Hashem said, for that, you're not going to be allowed to see the final goal that, we've been striving for, almost 40 years. You're not going to enter the promised land. And I think that really stinks. I mean, come on. I mean, he's been doing this wonderful job, and now he just doesn't get to enter it, It's kind of a lesson in sacrifice. Sometimes you have to understand that you're not going to be the one that gets to enter, that gets the riches of something. Sometimes you have to continue to work hard so that your people will receive those things. And Moshe accepted that, and that's what's so wonderful about him as a man. And I think a lot of men need to take that lesson on, right? Because I think a lot of men they're so focused on the goal of things, that they want the goal of things, that they don't understand that their sacrifice of getting to the goal is much more important than the goal itself. I think that's a huge lesson. And I had some questions actually about the Araba Road, which I'm probably going to look into. Also, there was some talk, I read the regular JPS version, the most recent one, and a lot of the English words are inaccurate. If you read the Hebrew, you'll see that some of the proper nouns are pronounced completely differently in Hebrew. So, for example, King Sihon, which is what it looks like in the text in English, is actually Sihon. Yeah, that's actually how you pronounce it. Now, one of the other big questions that a lot of us talked about was when Hashem said he scouted the land by fire at night and by cloud by day. That's something that I think we're all going to look into. And if you want, just post it on the board under, if someone can make a thread about this week's Parsha, we can post what we find in there so that there's a knowledge base for us to go back to. And I think that's about it. I mean, it was just a really good narrative. It was really just like a retelling of, their wanderings and where they went, and just sort of a good summary, like King said, of what happened to them after they left Egypt, and how things went for them. I would encourage people to look up other interpretations and sources. And one of the things, I think, I don't want to leave this out, because I think it's probably the most important thing we talked about tonight. And that is, I think it was King who said, imagine if we could study with Rashi and the Ramban. And, we all thought that was wonderful. And the thing that we sort of agreed on, and something I brought up, is when I ask people what they think about something, I'm not necessarily asking them to go ask their rabbi what their rabbi thinks. I mean, even though all of us are, most of us anyway, are into, you know, uh, we're all in rabbinical Judaism. You know, we all believe in that. Uh, Still, there's a point where it's best to take the Torah and interpret it for yourself, right? And use your own knowledge and come up with your own ideas about what these things mean. Because that makes, you know what, that makes the Torah closer to you. It makes it more personal, and it will help you. I think the Torah helps people who put their own experience in life into it, because it becomes interwoven with your life experience and your thoughts and your feelings. And that's why I think it's better sometimes that you don't ask a rabbi. It's okay to research it on the internet, but finally to come to a meaning that makes sense to you, right? Your uniqueness, right, is expressed in the Torah, and it's for you to pull out those things um, that are lessons and observations from your unique standpoint as um, a unique human being that Hashem has created. And so I really want to stress that, because that's so important. Um, I admittedly, you know, all the questions that I have, I don't go to my rabbi with all of these questions, okay? I like to do it on my own. I like to come up with answers from myself, right? I will do research on it. No doubt, I'll research things, like what certain things are meant by that, or I'll look up different various metaphors, and I'll look into different meanings of what different people have to say. But ultimately, I will come to my own conclusion about what that part of the Torah says to me and what it means to me, how it teaches me, how it enhances me as a human being, you know. So I think that was actually the best part of our conversation, and it was really good to see Daenerys come into the room. You were really cute, Daenerys. You were like, I just want to let you all know that I'm not Jewish. I thought that was really cute. And of course, Alex, with the, do you have a cross, and do you like tie people to it? Does it go straight up? Alex, you're such a bad guy. And people are gonna come in and want to study, and you're just gonna be vampire Alex. You're gonna be like putting them off. But I guess in a way that's kind of good, because you kind of get rid of the people who really don't want to be there. But, you know, thank Hashem that there's like a few other people in there that are like, you know, mitigating your damage with that and welcoming people. We had a few people come in tonight, but apparently, you know, they weren't there for the right reason. I don't think they understood what was going on in the room. A lot of them came in while there was a reading going on, so apparently they couldn't wait, so they're lost, right? But what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of putting a description on the channel that says, you know, on the group that says, you know, when you enter the room, you know, we will be reading a certain part of a portion of the Torah. Please be patient while that reading is finished, and then we'll acknowledge you. Maybe that would help, you know, get people to understand that we're not ignoring them. We're just so into that portion of the parsha that we can't just stop and drop everything to welcome them. So I will do that. But other than that, it was good. It was good to see you all. Finally, I got to study with you all after not studying with you. I think I missed a whole week of study, which feels like a long time. Anyway, my dear friends, Shalom, Shavua Tov, And we'll see you on Thursday, and I will catch up with all the videos that you've made, King, and comment. All right, everyone. Shaloom!